Hi, I'll be doing a deep dive into our configure tab here at NeuralSeek, and this is that demo instance that was behind the larger introduction demo if you watched that video. For all these things, you have the ability to do this at a platform level, but also you can do this at a agentic each agent level. So if we drill into here, into this flow that we have that's being routed between four different agents, we can dig into configuring this specific one. The first thing you'll see is a knowledge base connection tab. For the purpose of this is to define where your AI agent pulls its information from. The key things to highlight here is that you can enter your server endpoint and login credentials for your own knowledge base. You can add an optional API key or tokens if connecting to external systems like SharePoint, S3, or any database. You can set your indexing mode, primary or virtual knowledge base. You can choose your document retrieval scope, private versus public access. The next tab is all about knowledge-based tuning. This will help you control how retrieval behaves when answering questions. The optionality here is thorough. You can do different types of knowledge boosting, a slider for how heavily to weigh knowledge-based content versus LLM inference. The strictness, the context window size, the relevance threshold, this is all up to you to decide. The next tab is our LLM details. This is at the core of our platform. It lets you to select and configure which large language models power the agent. Now, we have every single public platform available here. You can pick one, like let's say WatsonX.ai, and you could drill in and you can add any LLM available through WatsonX.ai. Let's say you wanted to use Granite, you can then do add, plug in your credentials, and then once you add that, you can decide what part of NeuralSeek are they going to power. For this agent, you can have it power every seek, every PII detection, conversation generation, entity extraction, slot filling, categorization, example generation, intent creation, translate, fallback language ID, fallback sentiment. And then if the LLM has the capability to do these next things, you can have it do it as well. So table understanding, image generation, speech to text. And then obviously our flagship auto builder, you can have it available within Maestro. You have the ability to connect and test this before running it into your environment. The next tab is our embedding models. So the purpose for this is to define how your documents are vectorized for semantic search. You can, again, choose the model and have complete flexibility and ownership into what models you embed. Now, the next section is our platform preferences section. The purpose of this is to configure the overall environment and platform level setting. Your optionalities include things that affect the default response style of concise, verbose, or formatted, citation display, LLM provider, and latency cost preferences, and public versus private endpoint visibility. All of these came from our extensive engagements with the Fortune 500. You can have a corporate document filter. This controls which internal data is exposed to the agent, very important for regulated industries. Next, we have our corporate logging. So this is at the core of our governance tab. You have the ability to audit both the LLM seek calls as well as the Maestro agents running in your organization. So this gives full interactive logging as well as capturing the query and response pairs and all the LLM routing decisions, and also integrates logs and lets you bring these logs anywhere else in your business and bring them to other platforms as well. We have prompt engineering built in. So part of having these LLMs provide the best output possible is having the prompts engineered. So we actually provide built-in prompt engineering support. Some businesses like this, some don't. We leave that up to the corporation. Then we have our answer engineering and preferences. Again, giving you more and more control over how concise or very verbose you want your answers. And then do you want to force the answer from the knowledge base and never even allow the LLM to leverage its internet or potentially Reddit source answering? Next is our intent matching and cache configuration. This helps you cache answers to help protect your costs, as well as NeuralSeek will automatically generate and group users into intents. We'll go into that into another part of this deep demo. And then lastly, you have the ability for secrets to be stored. And then if we continue on and drill into what we can customize for each of these agents, you have the ability to have the answers flow into intents, as I just mentioned, and we'll do a deeper dive into this, but this gives you visibility into what's going at those agents. You're able to add intents, and then also you're able to add more extensive routing. So the ability for us to have granularity when it comes to LLM decisions and knowledge base alignment to each agent combined with an extensive routing tree allows you to make sure that the LLMs will be performing the way you want them to perform with the right outputs happening. And then next we have our guardrails. So to dive in, we have our semantic scoring proprietary model. We have the ability to tune the semantic model to perform the analysis that we want for each agent. Some agents, you want the semantic scoring to be very strict compared to the knowledge base, and other agents, you want it to be very loose so they can have more flexibility and more creative. We give you the ability to tune how much you want to be penalizing source jumping or total coverage of the knowledge base. That's up to you as a business to play with this. And then we have prompt injection. So the ability for us to detect and block malicious attempts from people to use these LLMs to kick off automations within your business is incredibly critical for anything external facing. Next, we have PII detection. So we have built-in PII detectors. You can notice that's just as easy as a little switch to turn them on and off. And then you have the ability to flag, mask, hide, or even delete so it doesn't have any existence in your system. Next is you can add pre-LLM PII filtering on top of the detectors that come out of the box. And you could add an LLM powered PII filtering for something like violence. Next, we have profanity hat protection. So most LLMs have this. If you go to use your standard out the box Copilot or ChatGPT, you'll see that there is some profanity detection and blocking built in, but this gives you as the business to control that and add an even more thorough protection. Attribution protection. This is really important for making sure that your LLMs say only good things about your business. You don't want an LLM providing compliments to your competitor while bringing you through the mud. Next is warning confidence. So this allows you to show answers to the users that maybe don't meet your, decided threshold on confidence that the answer is being sourced properly. And you could show the answer with a warning message saying that, hey, my knowledge base is not associated with this question. However, here is the LLM answer for you to review. This is the text message that you can edit as a business very easily. Next, we have our minimum confidence threshold. So this actually allows you to not show anything to the user, or you can just stop the agent in the workflow that it's currently working in if it doesn't pass a certain confidence threshold. You can pass a specific message to say, or you can do a more complex thing like have another agent step in and handle that specific situation. Next, we have our minimum text. So this allows you as a business to protect yourself from people maliciously using these LLMs by sending like DDoS level prompt at the thing. Next is our maximum length. So this actually helps you so people can't just drop in a document into a public facing LLM and cause you to have incredible input token problems. And that's it for our configure tab. Thank you.